the last film that I watched at the Leeds Film Festival, and the last film on there, the closing gala, was the film Carol, the new Todd Haynes film. Todd Haynes, the director of classic films such as Safe, Velvet Goldmine and I'm Not There, which, damn it, is a classic, no matter how much mixed opinion it got at the time. You've seen that.
I don't think it's a classic, but I think it's a very good film.
Yeah, I don't know, it's the best biopic ever made. It's a classic of its genre.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. But yeah, so Carol is his new film, based on a book by Patricia Highsmith, the author of Ripley's Games, and the Talent Mr. Ripley books.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the book is called A Grain of Sand. This is really annoying though. What they've done is they've re-released the book and call it Carol.
Oh,
I hate it when they do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so the film's basic plot is, it's got Kate Blanchett and Rooney Mara in. Rooney Mara decided she'd rather have a career after Pan.
After Pan.
Yeah.
The Maras are trying to get their stock back up.
Yeah, but so Rooney Mara and Kate Blanchett play two women in 1950s New York. Kate Blanchett is like a rich housewife. Rooney Mara works in a department store. There's obviously quite an age difference. I imagine about 10 years between them. What happens is Kate Blanchett comes to Rooney Mara's store to pick up a train set for her daughter. There they catch each other's eyes, all that, a bit of longing goes on, and starts off a torrid lesbian affair.
It's a lesbian film.
It is.
Oh, now I'm interested.
But yeah, so...
the last lesbian film that you could throw off as being an art house film was...
Blue is the Warmest
Colour.
Well,
it's not porn, it's art.
The film features no nudity though. Well, it does, but not like any kind of sex scenes.
Not explicit as it is in Blue is the Warmest Colour.
No. Do you know the woman in that is the same as in Bond? The blue-haired woman is the blonde woman in Blonde Spectre. Yeah. Yeah, I think people will compare it to Blue is the Warmest Colour because, it's very easy comparison. They're both really, really great films about lesbians, but that's really where... The closer one you could compare it to is Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, yeah.
It's more similar to that than Blue is the Warmest Colour, which is 3 hours long. This is a taut thriller. So yeah, it's a sort of thriller about the sort of problems about having a lesbian relationship within the 1950s America, where, obviously, that kind of thing just wasn't on, god damn it.
Yes.
It's the stiff upper lip and all that crap. So, the film, basically, they meet in this department store. There's tentative longing going on, clearly mutual. Kate Blanchett keeps following it up, invites her around to her house, and then they go on like a road trip around America to get away from Kate Blanchett's demanding husband who suspects she's a lesbian and has it out for her because of that.
Yes.
The film is really interesting actually because it's got all these sort of elements of B-movie lesbian sort of dramas. You've got like the crazy husband who's obsessed and jealous.
Reminds me of Thelma and Louise.
Thelma and Louise.
Yeah, going on a road trip and escaping her husbands and...
Yeah, but yeah, so like she's got the crazy husband. There's a bit where she gets a gun. All this kind of tension. Basically, you're watching it to see when will the other shoe drop.
Yes.
When will Kate Blanchett and Rooney Mara be discovered, and when will shit hit the fan because of it? And there's millions of these kind of films out there, but this film is better than probably most of them, if not all of them, because it's got absolutely amazing attention to detail. Todd Haynes directs the hell out of the film. You would think it was made in the 50s rather than set. The attention to detail is so absolutely incredible. Again, another great bit is the lack of any kind of gratuitous nudity. I've not seen Blue is the Warmest Colour, but that was famous for its...
It's very intense.
Very intense.
It's very
scenes.
intense.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
This film has like one scene where like they make love, but it cuts out before any kind of graphic stuff anyway. And that's it. It's all implied. It's more a love story than a sex story, in a way. And what's also great about it is that in these kind of stories, what usually happens is the younger one, the one who's played by Rooney Mara, would be a sort of naive waif who would have like she'd have a boyfriend who's a bit square, who wears glasses,
yeah.
and he's a bit of a nerd and he's not satisfying her. and but she's like, she's completely naive to any kind of all this lesbian business. There is a film that's like that, and I can't think what it is. It's about like a woman who gets tempted away by like an older woman, and it's like it's really rubbish because like the younger woman is presented as like being like, I'm just trying this out and I don't really know what I'm doing. But in this, it's presented as they both know what's happening, and it's a really complex, really great relationship that they have, rather than just a simple sort of like older woman tempts naive young woman into having a lesbian relationship with her. It's clear from the start that Rooney Mara's character is unfulfilled and is looking for something, and likely has been a lesbian all along, rather than just having it presented like the opportunities there. Cate Blanchett in the film is absolutely stunning. I mean, she's a great actress anyway.
Oh yeah.
She's probably the best like working actor regardless of gender. She just appears in like classic after classic, giving really great performances. But she has to play she plays like loving mother, abused like wife. She plays like experienced lesbian, and all these different kind of emotions. She's playing different characters. In every scene she appears different, but she's constantly, she gives one of those great performances where she seems different in every scene based on who she's with. But she's obviously the same person throughout. That's just great. It's great writing that as well, because she can be different. Like when she's with her daughter, she's just this loving mother figure. But then when she's with Rooney Mara, she's completely different, but clearly the same person, clearly different types of the same person. Just absolutely stunning performance. She deserves the Best Actress Oscar. I'm sure she'll win. Like, this film actually comes out next Friday in the UK. It's in limited release in America, probably going to be rolled out clearly to try and get some kind of Oscar attention, which it clearly, I mean, it's got everything really going for it. Great actresses doing great performances.
It's a period piece.
It's a period piece.
Yeah.
It's about a slightly taboo subject, but not too dangerous.
Not too taboo,
Not too taboo, no. But yeah, and Rooney Mara is just as good as Cate Blanchett, even though she has in some ways the harder role.
Yeah.
It's a less flashy role, because obviously the older one is going to have more like dramatic scenes, like where she's in the courtroom having to argue. Because what happens is that, what's also great is that it's not like a slow realisation on the husband's part that her wife is a lesbian. He knows it from like the very beginning, and he's living with it, and it's slowly driving him insane. Because you've got like, he's actually really good in it. Kyle Chandler's the actor. Because it's clear that he cares about his wife, but just has no idea how to sort of, what to do for her. Because he's obviously living in the 50s. He sees it more as like, I must keep my daughter away from her. When it makes sense, because obviously if you've been educated to be like that, he's not like a cartoon cut out villain. He's trying to get he doesn't intend any kind of harm on Cate Blanchett's part. He just wants to get his daughter out of there and with him, and it's much more nuanced than any one of these films tends to be. It is really, really great. I think the best comparison is Brokeback Mountain. Except it's less tragic and less sprawling. Like the film, even though it's getting a lot of like really great reviews. It's got like a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's getting across the board like 10 out of 10s. And I think that's going to make people think it's like a tragic love story, like Brokeback Mountain. Or like a huge sort of epic, but it's a much more intimate film. It's mainly like dialogue scenes set in a small mountain and very intimate, and not set over like Brokeback Mountain is set over something like 20 years. Because you obviously see the relationship go further. This is much more like about the burgeoning romance of these two characters as they sort of have to try and make their way in 50s New York and have to try and deal with the fact that who they are within a society doesn't accept them. It's an absolutely top-notch film, looks amazing, beautifully performed, great period soundtrack, everything the film could do right, it does right. If it wasn't for Inside Out, it would probably be my favourite film of the year. It's another 10 out of 10. What was also interesting, so that's I'll not go too deep because I think you'd love the film. I think you should go see it when it comes out.
Yeah, I'll see it next week.
See it next week, and then we'll do like a full in-depth with spoilers and stuff. There's no spoil so far. It's not even a spoiler at the end because it's one of them films that starts in media res. They're in a restaurant touching hands, and then it does it keeps cutting back. But go see it, and we'll do another review when you've seen it, because it's a really great, it's just a completely solid, great film. There's no real way to. It's not like. It's really weird because it's not like a grand masterpiece. It's just a great film.
Okay.
It's not like. It's really. I think this film deserves to make a lot of money and be a hit because it's not like a challenging classic. You know, like people say, like you have to see this. Ooh, with caveats. It would appeal to just anyone who wants a great story. This is it. It's just really well told storytelling with like themes that are resonant and characters you care about. It's a great film. But what was really interesting, as well as the film, which is a 10 out of 10 classic, was the producer for the film gave us a talk beforehand.
Oh, alright, okay.
And it was really interesting. He's produced loads of stuff actually. He did The Crying Game and loads of films. And he was saying that the film was based on a book and had 2 big stars, so you'd think it'd be easy to get any kind of funding for it. But they shopped it around, I think, for years before it was made, because they went into each studio, and the studios went, we love the script, we love Kate Blanchett and Rooney Mara attached to it. Who's the male star? Well, there isn't one. It's just a 2-hander. And they went, oh, not bothered. This is what he said. He said that studios, they just went, who's the male lead? Well, there isn't really one. Not bothered then. Like, this film is mainly women in it, and the only man who gets the significant part is Kyle Chandler as the husband, who, as great as he is, he's nowhere close to being the lead. He's in it for maybe 20 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really interesting to hear him talk about it, because yeah, even though this film is as commercial, as I was saying, it's very commercial in a way. But yeah, it just doesn't have a male lead. Studios weren't interested.
That's mental.
It's crazy,
not
isn't it?
surprising either.
No, it's not something he made up, obviously, but yeah, really great film. Make it the hit it needs to be, so more films can be made without studios asking, where's the male lead?
Oh, what comic book is it based on?
Because the budget, I was shocked, is only about 10 million.
Oh, really?
And it looks stunning. Like, he was saying that it wasn't filmed in New York because they just couldn't have the money to do so. They filmed it in Connecticut, I think.
Oh, right. Okay.
Somewhere, he said that it was somewhere like that, where he basically was trying to make out that the place looked exactly like it did in the 50s. In order to sort of...
Well, it makes sense not filming in New York either, because New York doesn't really look like the 50s, like it did in the 50s anymore anyway, so...
No.
It does make sense.
Well, they wanted to do it, I think, he was saying, but they just didn't have the money to do it. And couldn't... Because obviously with New York, you have to shut down a lot of streets and things.
That's it, yeah.
So they just shot it, somewhere else that looked like 50s New York.
Yeah. Well, again, like I was saying, that makes
probably
it more
best thing
appropriate.
there, yeah.
Because like I said, New York doesn't look like it did in the 50s anymore.
But yeah, just a little interesting tidbit about the production of the film.
It's cool.
But yeah, go see Carol. I mean, this film is so good. There were 800 people in, and then when it ended, it got an applause.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's how everyone loved it. I mean, there were just people talking about how great it was as they were walking out.
That's really nice. Yeah.
It is really nice.
Yeah, I've never been in a film where there's been an applause at the end. Except when we went to go see 2001. A couple of years back at the Leeds Film Festival.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard an applause at the end of a film.
But yeah, this film got applause. And it was really good now, because like, it was ending, credits were rolling, and one person started, then a few, and it just went around the cinema, and it was great. It was a really great experience.
Lovely.
And yeah, again, just people talking about how great it was and how great the performances were. And yeah, it was just a really great cinema experience. So go see Carol. Also get the beat. I reckon this film might win Best Picture. I definitely think it's going to win one of the actress roles, but I'm not. I think it'll depend obviously on box office. As much as they like to pretend, the Academy, that it's the caliber of films. Everyone knows it's politics. So
I have to remember the voters are old white men.
Old white men. Oh yeah, like you remember 2000. Well, Brokeback Mountain didn't win. It was Crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I bet some really safe film beats actually.
Yeah, I don't think it is going to be.
No, but yeah, watch the film. I think you'd really like it. It's got some really great... There's actually really great feminist touches and all that. There's a bit where Kate Blanchett, because obviously she's like, I'm a rich wife who's unsatisfied. She's like... she goes to a house party with like her husband, and like this woman's like, I don't want to smoke, but my husband says I have to. And there's stuff like that in it, and like all about like... women, it's basically about the difference between then and now.
Yeah.
Even though it's a very modern sensibility. The ending is amazing. You wouldn't guess the ending coming like at all, just from the description, but the ending's amazing. And there's just so many great little details. There's an amazing bit where like it's Carol and Rooney Mara's character in the house, and Rooney Mara's just playing the piano. There's nothing going on at all. Like she's just sat on the floor, but she's got her shoes off. She hears someone at the door, runs to get her shoes on as quick as possible, so it wasn't seen as right for women not to wear shoes when they're in the house with each other.
Yeah.
Little touches like that. That's why like the tension comes from that. Like the tension between then and now and the differences. It's just an absolutely great film. 10 out of 10. Go see Carol as soon as it's out next Friday.